We just came together and realized, like, if we don't get this done, then we don't have an opportunity to potentially go to the Big 12 or the NCAA tournament. So it's kind of motivation and like how we fueled our fire.
Left back Lauren Lapomarda fueled many of her teammates' fires during the course of her Solar and Longhorn career.
Always has a smile on her face. Like if I'm having a bad day, who did I text or write? I'm like, Lapo, I just need a smile. Such an energy giver. But also then has such high standards for herself.
Watch Lapo for 15 minutes and you know a girl can play soccer.
I would want her on my team. That's all I'm gonna say. She's gritty, she loves to get after it. There's no quit in her. So she's just like one of those players where it's just like, are you tired? Like she's still going, you know? And I feel like every single game she's gonna give it her all.
I'm gonna put my body on the line for everything, whether that's going in for big tackles, blocking hard shots, maybe even getting screamed at by the other opponent, but I'm gonna take it and kind of give it back. It's like, I'm here for 90 minutes, my team's here for 90 minutes, we're not gonna let down. We're just gonna keep going and do our thing.
Knocked away by who else? Lauren Lapomarda.
Against Iowa State, as halftime approached, the Longhorns trailed. They needed a jolt.
We had been working so hard for a goal, and we finally found that opportunity, which was in the last 10 minutes. Great ball from Trinity Byers. And I just saw the opportunity to take a shot.
Lexi converted a penalty kick in the 72nd minute to secure a win. The team had a much-needed 3-game winning streak as they visited Norman, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, in general, is a very hard place to play. It's very windy across the board. And then you have the whole Red River rivalry, and you have fans screaming in your ear.
We came in there and, like, knowing it was another rivalry game. It's the Red River. So everybody's going ballistic and crazy for that.
Going away to them and then losing in a big rivalry game is not ideal at all. And I think also just the way we lost, their style of play is just very direct. They want to go to goal, they want to play their forwards, and we're not a direct team. We're not someone that's going to just lump it and go. Like, we like to play pretty soccer, and we miss the small margins, you know, marking in the box and finishing our chances, getting crosses off. Like, we couldn't really finish, and I think that's kind of what our issue was for sure. Didn't feel good at all either.
We were better. We were just a better team than them, but we didn't perform to our standard at all. Off game for me, off game for everybody else. As a whole, we were not good, frankly.
The failure to score in a 2-0 loss especially affected a key offensive player.
If your team's getting shut out, you're kind of trying to put the team on your back. The main thing from an offensive player is to score. If I'm not scoring goals, then what am I doing? And I think if Lex was feeling that, then she and I can kind of relate.
I had anxiety with myself because I felt like I didn't step up to the plate like I should have. I do have a breathing problem. Like, I do have asthma, and I have to take like breathing pills, and I have to get 3 shots a week. Sucks.
The caliber of who she is as a player and also as a person. I think she, just in general, puts a lot of pressure on herself.
Plus my anxiety, plus like the breathing really triggered something that I didn't feel the whole season besides that game. It wasn't fun.
If the team does good, then Lexi gets praise, as she should, because she's such an important factor of the team, right? But the flip side, because the team did bad, it's kind of on Lexi's shoulders, even though it shouldn't be.
That game was definitely a game of realization, like if we don't win the next games, then we potentially might not make Big 12, or we might potentially not even go to the NCAA. And that was another hard pill to swallow, of like 2 tournaments not going and making it.
We really had to just kind of come together as a team. I remember when we had lost to OU, the game after we played Houston, and Ange had sat down with a few of us and we talked about kind of what was going wrong and what we needed to fix in terms of positions. So like me going back into the midfield, just like either mentality piece or just stuff we needed to do in training. And I think like we all kind of hashed it out, and it was very productive.
Losses in their 2 remaining regular season games might cause them to miss the 8-team Big 12 tournament altogether. That had happened just one time in the history of the program. In Houston, a woman who played a huge part in giving them a chance to play in the first place watched a bounce-back win against the Cougars.
The game has changed so much since my time at UT. Just faster, more athletic. It looked really nice. It was fun to watch.
The Houston game was more about just enjoying soccer rather than like worrying about where we are in the rankings. And I think you can definitely see that with the score and just kind of how we played. We looked like we were playing freely, which is something that Ange really harped on. Like the second half of the season, just play free because there's no pressure. I think that was something that we really wanted to emphasize and just kind of play with fun, make it fun, because soccer's supposed to be fun.
In the season's final home game, Lexi opened the scoring, but 2 unanswered goals gave her mother's alma mater the lead just before half.
TCU has grabbed the lead.
We were down 2-1 going in half, and we're like, all right, not happening. We're all like, everybody at halftime was like, we got this in the bag. Like, especially because it was senior night, right? Everyone was like, it's not happening. We're winning on senior night. So we come out second half, then Holly scores, which, hallelujah. And it was such a banger.
Going into the game, it was okay, we're not losing at home on senior night. No matter what you have to do, no matter, sacrifice your body, put your body on the line. We're not losing at home for senior night for these seniors. If any night, we're winning tonight, especially TCU, Texas. Big rivalry there.
The 4-2 win led into post-game ceremonies honoring the senior players. Most would be returning the following year, having received additional eligibility after the COVID pandemic, but a few would move on to the next stages of their lives.
I was so proud of Sydney, right? For the woman that she's becoming and for the role of Texas soccer in helping shape that.
Sydney Cox.
It was kind of a little bit of a shock to me that like it was really all closing, you know, because I hadn't played here yet without her. And so it was really emotional and it was really sad, and it was sad with them talking about like the next chapters and everything.
It was so special to have my family there. I think that my mom and dad have always supported me so much, and so having them there to really be there for me was incredible. And every single person that I'm hugging in this video matters so much to me.
Every one of those hugs represents a relationship with somebody that she is just going to go along with. And they love her not because of her numbers and because of what she accomplished and did on the field. They love her because of what the heart that she brings to practice every day. I mean, you're seeing the most prolific soccer players on the field right now hug one that, you know, has less minutes than they have fouls probably. It's just amazing.
They always supported me in my role, and I never was upset about not playing minutes because I just loved getting to hug and cheer on and be there for my teammates and get to see them succeed. Their succeeding was me succeeding, like truly. And just the joy I had for them and getting to see them succeed, it was just the best.
It was really fun to get to celebrate her and just have the biggest impact that she has made to this program and all the people around her and our team. And so that was really fun. It was really bittersweet, you know, to get to celebrate her, but then also be like, no, like what? You're not allowed to leave?
It's a transition. Sports are a means to an end. That was Sydney's transition point. And what was so great about that was that it was everything you had hoped it would be, right? Not necessarily in the world's, like if you tallied up her minutes, but in terms of the woman she had become and the friendship she had built.
I have so much love and care for all of our players, and from the moment they get here, my goal is to develop them into stronger young women. So I give them this book, Oh, the Places You Go, by the great Dr. Seuss, and I've done it for now 26 years of my coaching career. I think that book is really simple, yet the lessons in there are really hard for humans or adults to follow, and I feel like it can be a really quick read, and it can be a roadmap to their life. When there's ups and downs, right? When they reach trials and tribulations, and that's always my message on senior day.
The team would next play in the Big 12 Conference Soccer Tournament. Thanks to their earlier trials and tribulations, a loss could end their season.
We're in a serious spot right now.
As a coach would tell you that the only learning comes through adversity, right? And through challenges. And I think we've definitely had ones that have stung.
It's a win or go home. So ultimately, if we lose, then we're not making the NCAA tournament.
We didn't perform to our full potential. We could have won the conference. It was anyone's game, obviously. Our performances were wishy-washy and not convincing enough. And I think our standings showed.
We definitely had a chip on our shoulder. We called it the revenge tour.
We knew it was a new opportunity to kind of be like, okay, you got us at our worst, now you're going to get us at our best.
In the first round, they would face the team that had knocked them out of the conference tournament the year before.
We knew West Virginia in the past, we always have trouble with that team for some reason.
Originally scheduled for a stadium in nearby Round Rock, weather-related field issues forced the teams to play the game at Mike A. Myers Stadium.
Lucky we were able to have a home field advantage, even though I would argue, was it a home field advantage? Was if it was 30 degrees and 11 o'clock in the morning and nobody was there? I don't know.
I personally love the cold, so any cold game is almost an advantage for me because I feel like I can run forever.
It was kind of like a revenge game. We kind of had that motivation and feel from last year, and then this year to show like we're gonna give it our all. Like it's gonna be a hard game to deal with. You're gonna have to deal with certain players for 90 minutes.
Their keeper is so talented. She's an incredible shot stopper. She's so hard to play against. We knew either goals had to be absolute bangers, top bins, like not even a professional goalkeeper could reach, or it would have to be like a tap in like from 3 inches away. Luckily, Lex and Trin both delivered on those.
This game against West Virginia was the first one that we all felt we pressed really well on defense. We attacked really well on offense. It was just like an all-around, well-rounded game that we played.
The win earned the Horns a rematch with the tournament's top seed, the 4th-ranked team in the country.
Oh, I wanted it more than anything because I didn't finish the game the first time, and so, I mean, our mindset was pretty much like, go at it.
Round Rock the field was bad because of the rain, so we had to play at our field. But it wasn't really our field because Tech took our locker room and we had to be in the outside on the track by the field.
It was kind of like a slap in the face because, I mean, even though we knew what was going to happen because Tech was the higher seed than us, and so the higher seed got the home bench and the locker room and everything.
I remember that pissed us off so much that we were like, okay, we lost this team in the last 10 seconds because of our own fault. And now they're taking our lockers. I was like, okay, if we don't win, then what are we doing here?
We go into the half 0-0, and so we're like, okay, we have to finish. And then we come out of halftime. Within the first 5 minutes, Lapo gets the ball. She plays the ball to Trin. I don't know how it got through the defender, but it did. Trin takes on 4 people, like it's nothing. And then she slots it far post. And I don't think I've ever seen Trinity celebrate a goal ever in all of the time that I've known her. She celebrated that goal, and I was like, yes.
The team celebrated too. They'd given a top 5 team its first loss of the season, a squad that had defeated them in crushing fashion earlier in the year. But one of their captains made it a priority to remind them to keep perspective.
That was a big win for us. I think it's important for the team to celebrate and to be proud of themselves. I think for me, I just don't want them to lose sight of what we're really here to do.
The next thing they would need to do would happen in Round Rock.
I was very excited. I wanted Tech again, I wanted BYU again, and we all did. We all wanted BYU again because we were so close the first time. And the second time, I mean, in the final, well, you can't ask for anything better than that. The biggest stage in the conference, and we were there and we were ready to go. I could tell. It was like a different atmosphere during warm-ups.
It's the confidence and then knowing each other and knowing how badly we wanted to win it for one another. I was a sideline player in that game. I didn't step foot on the field, but I'm gonna scream the loudest I can scream, and I'm going to make sure that this bench is the most hype it's ever been, because we can win this game and we will win this game.
We wanted it so bad because we were kind of just trying to keep our season alive. And keeping our season alive was another big theme for us. We kind of knew, like, if we're already here, might as well win. Might as well go all the way.
With the BYU game, it was complete revenge. It was like a total different mindset. Up here totally was different. And I think that we went in thinking and knowing we wanted to win so bad that there was not even a thought of losing. Not even a thought.
We knew that we had to shut down their key players, which is Brecken Mazingo, Olivia Wade-Katoa, which was my mark. I pretty much had a man marker the whole time, and she's just incredible, and she runs everywhere, so I was just like, man, you gotta get your legs going. We had to stay compact, and we knew we had to press their back line.
The first half was definitely a battle. I mean, we scored early first, and then they scored like 10 minutes later, and actually they were on us for like the last first half. But the second half, I think it all turned around. We absolutely kind of dominated the second half.
Some 10 minutes into the second half, Trinity Byers made a run to draw a foul in the box. The Horns' penalty taker had not failed to convert a chance from the spot the entire season.
Trinity got fouled and I had a PK, and I was actually pretty nervous for this PK because I've taken, I think, like 7 or 8 before that, and I was like, oh wow, like I'm like 7 for 7 right now, like hopefully I make this too. I was like, okay, I trust my technique and I trust my confidence, and I stepped up to the plate and I took it and I ended up finishing it.
And then Mia just was balled out.
A crucial defensive play kept the score at 2-1.
I trust Mia with everything, but that was a fantastic cross, and it was a fantastic place header, and I don't know how in the world she saved that.
It was off a cross and the header, I think. Yeah, that was all right. I needed to make that save. That was the one to make.
I get like chills every time I talk about it, because if she would have scored, it would have been a different game, so thank God for Mia Justice.
After Canadian winger Holly Ward scored in the 76th minute, the Horns could almost touch one of the biggest wins in the history of the program.
There's like a minute left, and me, Trin, and Lex are looking at each other like, bro, we just won. Like, that was probably like oh my gosh.
Playing 6 days, 3 games, back-to-back basically, and to see that hard work finally pay off and you get rewarded was definitely one of the best feelings that any person can have.
My dad was so happy. I mean, he was almost more happier than me, if that could even be possible. He was on the field at like 2 seconds left. I was like, Dad, what are you doing?
2-1.
I remember him running as fast as he could on the field, and I thought that was funny.
The final score, the Texas Longhorns 3 and BYU Cougars 1.
I was straight vibes right there. Not a single thought in my head. Actually, the only thought in my head was, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Let's just do a snow angel.
That's why I do what I do, to see young women grow and to achieve success. Now, that doesn't always come out in the metrics of wins, but the investment's always there, and there's so much growth. And you've heard me say there's only growth in the adversity, and I think through some of our losses this season, we've gotten better, and we challenge them to get better even amongst our wins. And I just can't speak enough about the growth of this squad. From top to bottom, and just how unified they are, and how gritty they were tonight, and how selfless.
Lexi won the award that evening as the tournament's most outstanding offensive player. That year, she became the first Big 12 player ever to record 20 goals and 20 assists in a single season. Her focus was on other things.
Oh gosh, this means nothing. I'm just glad that this team pulled out with the win. I just could not be more excited for this team.
It just shows how humble and selfless she is, and it shows on the field. Like, she works so hard for her teammates, so, I mean, the individual stuff doesn't matter.
Winning the Big 12, I think, was huge for her. Kind of validated, her decision going to Texas and taking her best friends with her there, and Derek, pushing them all that direction as well. So she could easily have not won that and been like, I just put up one of the best statistical seasons in history. Thank you, but I don't care. I think a lot of people could be like that.
We defended as a whole and 3-1, and we came out with the outcome.
But it doesn't shock me because that's exactly how her personality is. She's not about me. She's not a look at me person. She's like, yeah, thank you guys, but let's just keep going. Her not only contributing but killing it in the game is on the biggest stages. I don't know how it gets better than that.
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world. It just shows that hard work does pay off, and I just could not be more excited for this team. When she made that save, I even was in shock. I was like, holy, I love Mia. Like, I was like, Mia's right here, actually. Come here. Come here.
Let's go.
MVP right here.
Let's go.
I love
No,
this girl.
Lex, that's you.
But anyways, when she made that save, I was like, game, this is game. And I could not be more excited.
Women can do just as many things as men can do. And I think the world is finally starting to realize that. We just want to play. We just want to be respected, just like our male counterparts. That's literally all we're asking for. We want to play. We want to be seen. This is what we're presenting to you.
The journey the young women of the Big 12 champion Texas Longhorns made through their season did not always go smoothly or in a straight line. The setbacks that led to eventual successes mirror the historical pathways of their sport and women's sport in general.
Her quote is, "The thing I am proudest of is that every little girl, if she grows up and now and wants to play, she can play."
It's true. When young women learn teamwork and competitiveness and responsibility, they'll go on to excel as professional soccer players or doctors or coaches, and in doing so, fulfill the true purpose of Title IX.
The resilience and persistency, the most successful people in this world are oftentimes not the most talented, right? And the most successful have talent, right? They have an understanding, they have aptitude. But it's the ones that get back up, that grow in adversity. I tell our players, in moments that it doesn't go our way, or in moments that you think it's really bad, get a smile on your face, because that's when you're growing and that's when the moment is going up.